Most people try to manifest from the mind, but your mind isn't creating your reality. Your nervous system is. If you've ever felt like you're doing all the high vibe things, the visualizing, the affirming, the meditating, but still not seeing the results you want, this is why. You don't manifest through effort, you manifest through frequency. And your frequency is held in the energetic position of your nervous system. So when your body feels unsafe, your field contracts. You start creating from survival. But when you feel safe, when your nervous system is coherent, you become a magnet for the miraculous. And in this episode, I'm not just going to show you how your nervous system is the portal to miracles. I'm going to teach you one of the most powerful nervous system reset practices that I know, a 3-part breath and meditation sequence designed to downregulate fear, restore your sense of safety, and put you back in the frequency of quantum creation. So let's get into it. Hey, it's David. Welcome to A Changed Mind, a sanctuary for your spirit, a place where each and every episode I remind you of the certainty of the goodness of the future. I'm your friend, your host, your guide, David Bayer. Now, most people live in an over-mentalized experience of life. And I want you to just stop and check in with yourself for a moment. How often have you noticed that you're driving from point A to point B in your car and you have not noticed anything on the road, anything to your periphery? You've been in your head having a conversation, worrying about something, thinking about an argument that you had and trying to win the argument in your head even though the person is no longer there. Or walking through the mall or through your own home, not actually noticing the material surroundings, but living in this mentalized space, right, that lives somewhere up above your head, having a conversation about the past, having a conversation about the future, thinking about what should have happened or shouldn't have happened, all the different ways that we become entangled with that inner dialogue. Most of us have developed an extraordinary capacity to live in the mind. And what we've seen, now having had over 10,000 coaching conversations with high performers, entrepreneurs, people just like you, is that by the age of 40, our mental-based neurology has built up such a momentum that it is overexpressing itself. And the things that got you to where you are, your natural gifts and talents, your ability to thrive through challenges, your ability to influence your external circumstances, your ability to handle anything that shows up, well, more is showing up than you can handle. Your external circumstances are out of control. And really everything that you thought you could handle is overburdened because you're calling forth into your reality more and more and more of what your initial nervous system had been developed to handle, but now your neurology has overdeveloped itself. And we see this, we call it the core program. We've actually identified that within this mental dynamic, this living in the head space is a lot of fear, a lot of unprocessed trauma, a lot of limiting beliefs. It's an over-evolution of your identity or your personality. Now, let me define identity for you. An identity is the energetic position from which you experience reality. So it is the perception with which you experience your external circumstances. And it is an energetic position. What does that mean? It is an emotional position. So you're experiencing reality, which is and what is core to your personality are concepts like I don't matter, or if I want to approve of myself and be worthy, I have to work hard, or money is scarce, or it comes but it doesn't stay very long. These are all concepts. These are all energetic positions that develop as a conglomeration into your identity or your personality, and reality begins to reflect itself back to you in the form of what you believe. This position is vibrational. It is a frequency, and it's held in your nervous system. So as you are thinking limited thoughts around time, around money, around yourself, around what's possible, as you experience frustration or overwhelm or stress, that's a vibration in your nervous system. So too are emotions like joy and curiosity and excitement. You're resonating at a higher vibrational frequency. But if you're not creating what you want to be creating in your life, the only reason for that is you have not developed the practice of a vibrational position or an identity that feels good and is in alignment with what you want to create. Because your nervous system is creating your reality. Really, you are impressing your consistent habit of vibration, which are your thoughts and your emotions, against the quantum field. And reality is forming based on that consistent vibration. It's a communication that you have with a greater intelligence, the unified field, God, Jesus, Allah, however you refer to a higher intelligence or a higher power, it is responding according to your habit of vibration or your habit of identity. And stress, when you're experiencing it, is an indication that you're creating more of what you don't want. Because as you're experiencing stress, that frequency is building within your nervous system, and you are expressing that frequency against the field, and the field has no choice but to respond through the formation of circumstances and situations that will invoke that same emotion from you. This is the idea of the law of attraction. So in any moment in time, whatever you're feeling is predicting an experience in the future that will invoke that same feeling from you. You are literally creating your reality. And so the challenge here is for us to begin to disassociate our day-to-day experiences because they're reflective of a previous habit of thought or emotion or our current identity, and to start to really living into the version of our future self, the type of reality that we want to create, experiencing gratitude when you feel like there's nothing to be grateful for, experiencing prosperity when there's not that much in your bank account, experience the feeling of safety when actually your external environment feels very threatening. This is the work to do. So stress is an indicator of creating more of what you don't want. Joy or calm or peace, or what we would call powerful states of being, are indicators that you are creating a future that you do want. And so one way to look at the game of personal growth and the game of creating your own reality, the game of achieving goals, the game of creating success, is to look at life through the lens of a single practice, which is downregulating your nervous system. So learning how to train your nervous system away from fight or flight or the sympathetic expression of the nervous system into parasympathetic or rest or relaxation. Because in the parasympathetic expression of your nervous system, that's where you're creating a joyful, abundant, prosperous, healthy, connected experience of life. And in the sympathetic expression of your nervous system, the fight or flight expression of your nervous system, you're creating a future that will invoke more fight or flight. Stress, anxiety, overwhelm, financial insecurity, indecision, procrastination, and self-sabotage. Now, if we get honest with ourselves, most of us, if not all of us, at a meaningful level, feel unsafe. Just check in with yourself for a moment. If you're joining me on YouTube, you can let me know if this resonates with you or not. I know throughout most of my life, I felt tremendously unsafe. Even now as an adult, being in this work and being a teacher of this work, there are many moments throughout my days, throughout my weeks, throughout my months, where I feel unsafe. I feel unsafe because something shows up in my business that I didn't expect, that isn't in alignment with the growth of the business that I envision. I feel unsafe because I have aches and pains in my body, and my mind interprets those aches and pains as, what if this is serious? What if it never goes away? I feel unsafe when my wife and I have friction in our relationship. She gets upset about something, and because of old childhood programs, I feel like I did something wrong. And in response to that, in order to justify my worthiness, I need to make her wrong. And so we end up off in this stalemate. But I could give example after example after example of how on a daily basis I move into unsafety. And that unsafety is an indication that I'm moving into fight or flight, right? I'm moving into the upregulation of my nervous system. And moving into sympathetic or fight or flight is not a bad thing. It's a very useful tool for survival, right? It was meant to signal to us that we were in need of food, in need of shelter, that we were under a direct threat, something that was threatening our survival. But the challenge is that over the last few thousand years, it's been left unchecked, and it has encroached upon the natural balance of the nervous system. I've shared the story before that when my wife and I were first dating, I didn't have a lot of money. I had 2 homes in foreclosure. I really wanted to impress my wife. We went out to dinner one time, and I'm looking at the menu, literally moving into fight or flight because I'm looking at the prices and hoping she's not going to order the filet mignon or a glass of wine because I couldn't afford it. Right? So the mind is correlated to this habit we've developed in our nervous system of fight or flight, and so we start to interpret life as threatening. Most of us feel unsafe most of the time, and we develop all these coping mechanisms to feel safe, controlling our external environment, trying to be perfectionists, trying to make the right decisions, striving for success because we believe success will produce safety. And when we feel unsafe, we also have other behaviors we engage in, like depression, anxiety, overwhelm, hopelessness. So what I'm wanting to communicate in this episode is that a very beneficial practice for downregulating your nervous system, which is the portal for creating miracles and what you want in your life, is the practice of safety. Get into a practice of feeling safe. And that's why practices like meditation, which are very beneficial in terms of stilling the mind, or visualization, which are really useful in terms of starting to build a memory of your future, because your brain is a goal-achieving machine and it can start to operate in order to materialize that future visualization that you have or that vision board. But they're only so useful. And most high vibrational practices fail without tethering them or connecting them to nervous system regulation. So this is very, very important. In fact, right now in my own personal practice, this is the most important practice, and I'm going to be sharing with you what one of my core practices is. But feeling safe allows you to allow, right? When you feel safe, you are open. Your nervous system is open. It's available. You're able to receive from life rather than defend against it. And in that, you become more connected and one with the field of intelligence and the flow of life itself. So I want you to think about it. When you feel unsafe, you're in a contracted energy. You experience emotions like stress, anxiety, and overwhelm, and you're cutting yourself off from the field. And because you're cutting yourself off from the field or from God or from life itself, that's why disease starts to set in. That's why financial insecurity and lack of prosperity exist. Isolation, challenges in work or career, challenges in relationship, not having a relationship, because you're cutting yourself off from life itself as you move into this feeling of unsafety. As you move into safety, you start to allow, you open up, and you literally plug back in to the matrix of life. So you allow yourself now an inflow of information, thoughts, ideas, inspiration, health, vitality, vibrancy, abundance, and an outflow of desire. So you're a better receiver transmitter mechanism plugged into the field itself. You're able to receive from the field and transmit out to the field in a more coherent, productive, and aligned way. Hey, it's David. Quick interruption to your regularly scheduled podcast episode. I want to let you know about an opportunity to go even deeper into this work together. If you have not yet, please check out the show notes. In there, we've got links to both our Mind Hack and our Whole Human Framework programs. Our Mind Hack course is an incredible framework. It's the foundation of everything that I teach on this show to help you understand how to become deeply aware of the subconscious programs that are holding you back and to teach you the technologies and frameworks to allow you to dramatically transform those belief systems and rewire your brain. Again, the Mind Hack program is our 7-day self-paced program. We also have our 12-week course, The Whole Human Framework. And we've got both of them right now bundled in a special offer for those of you who want to go big, want to go fast, and who understand that you don't want to put off another day of your full potential or holding on to unnecessary stress, anxiety, or suffering, but you want to be liberated from these habits of thinking and have a powerful living experience. Check out the link in the show notes. Jump on over to the website. Take a look at the programs and the extraordinary success stories of entrepreneurs just like you who have gone through these courses, and I will see you on the other side. And now, back to your regularly scheduled podcast episode. So there's a direct relationship between joy and safety and quantum creation, right? Those three things are all aligned. When you're living in your joy, which you really can only do when you feel safe, and when you feel safe, you're able to live in your joy. And when you're living in your joy and experiencing safety, you're actually, without much effort, drawing forth all of the components necessary to materialize whatever desires that you've accumulated over time. Because you have a whole portfolio of desires that you've accumulated over time, right? Like there are lots of things that you want. You want more money, maybe you want more fame, maybe you want better relationships, maybe you want more clarity on your purpose. You have all these desires and the field already knows what you want. You've placed your order. The question is whether or not you can align with the field, and you do that through a safety practice and the downregulation of your nervous system. So what I want to do is I want to share with you a 3-part meditation and breathing practice to downregulate your nervous system and to also install feelings of openness, meaning availability to the field and openness to life rather than feeling defensive against it and unsafe, and safety, right? Openness, safety, and connection with the field. And so this practice is something that I got from Heart Math. I saw some YouTube video a long time ago, and there was a facilitator moving people through this practice. You could do this for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It doesn't really matter. In fact, I think it's even better if you break it up into like 5 minutes a day to reset your nervous system and reconnect it to safety and joy and the ability to receive and the field. And all you need to do is get into a quiet place and you close your eyes. And there's 2 parts of this practice. The first part is heart coherent breathing. And so what that looks like is you breathe in and you breathe out, but you focus your energy and attention as if you were breathing in through your heart and out through your heart. Well, why is that important? Well, because there are energetic centers around the heart where it's at the core of who you are. Like really you are materialized energy. And so you see yourself as a physical body, but if we go into more ancient teachings, right, there are 7 chakras that represent the energy centers, all the way from your root chakra, which is near your tailbone, up through your third eye chakra in your forehead and your crown chakra. And according to Eastern tradition, these are energy centers that materialize your physical body. So behind your physical body are these energy centers. And it's even further broken down into the meridian system that's used in acupuncture, these energetic centers throughout your body. And what we're wanting to do is move behind the body. Like, let's get to an earlier root cause. Let's go towards the real cause of the experience of your life and the experience or materialization of your physical body. And let's work with the energetic centers. And we want to bring our awareness or attention to that heart center, because your awareness is energy. And when you bring your awareness or your energy to certain parts of your body, it activates and stimulates those parts of your body. And so we're going to breathe in through the heart and we're going to breathe out through the heart. That's the consistent part of the practice. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have 3 types of breaths that you do. The first breath is you breathe in through your heart. You're going to exhale through your heart. And as you exhale, you're going to imagine feeling the expansion of your arms, opening yourself up to life, opening yourself up to everything that life has been trying to send to you so that you can receive it, right? Imagine being out in a beautiful hillside, staring up at the sun, opening up your arms and just receiving those beautiful rays of light, or receiving a beautiful hug from someone you love. That's a very specific emotional frequency. So as you do the first breath, you're going to inhale. All the inhales are just focus on the heart. And as you exhale through the heart, you're going to allow yourself to feel this feeling of receiving, being safe and receiving and being open. And you can try it now or you can try it after this episode, but you'll notice that's a very specific feeling. There are times in your life, memories that you've had where you've been open and available and received, and life has just poured love into you. That's a specific frequency that we want to start building and reinforcing in your nervous system to counter the habit of unsafety and blocking ourselves off. So the first exhale is the feeling of opening yourself up and receiving. Then you inhale again through the heart. This is the second breath. And you exhale again. And this time I want you to imagine letting it all fall off of you, letting everything on your shoulders fall off, letting any stories or trauma or tension in your body just literally go, slip right off your body all the way down through your feet, grounding it back into the earth. That's a specific emotion. We normally don't describe that as an emotion. We describe emotions as happy or sad or overwhelmed. But this opening up to receive is an emotional experience. This exhaling and letting everything go is an emotional experience. And these are very powerful frequencies and habits to build in your nervous system that are conducive to allowing your nervous system to be the portal for creating miracles and what you want. So the second exhale is letting it all go. It's sort of the same feeling you would have if I had you take a deep inhale, like, and then you did an audible exhale, like, like that feeling of letting it all go. It's like that feeling of just finishing a really difficult workout or just completing a really difficult task. Like, it's behind me. I'm letting it go. I'm letting it slip off my nervous system. I no longer need to hold on to it. So breath number 1, inhale, exhale while opening yourself up to receive. Second breath, inhale through the heart, exhale and letting it all go. The third breath in this 3-breath sequence is an inhale through the heart, again, why? Because we're activating the heart-centered energy. This is at the core of who you are. And we're exhaling through the heart, feeling safe and present right here, right now. Feeling in your body right here, right now. And safe. It's almost like saying to yourself, right now, right here, I'm okay. I am safe. It doesn't matter if you don't have as much money in your bank account and you've got a ton of credit card debt. It's not here, right now. It doesn't matter if you're in physical pain, because what's right here, right now is you dying or never being able to solve your physical pain. Let's just acknowledge that right here, right now, we're okay. I am okay right here, right now in my physical body. That's the exhale. Why is this important? Well, it's important because what we're trying to do is redevelop the habit of being inside of our bodies. Because as we talked about in the earlier part of this episode, we've been living in this mental space disconnected from ourselves, up in the egoic mental turbulence of our minds. And that has a toil on our body because our life force is not in our body. It's outside of our body, up in this space, trying to figure things out, judging ourselves for what we did in the past, worrying about things in the future. And so that's part of the disconnection from the field, which as a byproduct creates financial insecurity, breakdown in health, breakdown in relationships, lack of clarity, lack of guidance, lack of spiritual connection. So this is exactly the opposite. The third breath is inhale through the heart center and exhale with a feeling of I'm in my body right here, right now. I am guided. I am protected. Whatever else you can add in that might be resonant for you. I'm a child of God, right? I am okay right here, right now. That's that third emotional exhale. So you've got three. The first one is opening myself and being available and receiving the abundance and all of the goodness of life. The second one is letting go of all of the tension that might be accumulating on me and the things that I've accumulated throughout the day and grounding it back into the earth, just letting it literally slip off and slide off down your body through your feet into the ground. And the third one is being right here in my body, safe, right here, right now. And what you do is you simply repeat those three breaths for as long as you want to do the meditation practice. Inhale through the heart center, just feeling your heart, and exhaling while practicing these three specific vibrations that are all correlated to safety, right? Safety to receive, safety to let go, safety to be. And this is a beautiful coherence practice. This is the way that you can start retaking control over how your nervous system is programmed. Because the truth is early on, we had no control over how our nervous system was programmed. Right? It was programmed by other people, by what they believed, by what they told us, and it built up a psychological and emotional habit. And since your nervous system is literally what's vibrating a frequency out to the field and creating your reality, there are some things that you're creating in your life right now that you love and some things that you don't love. And the way that you're going to change it is not by trying to control your external reality, but by controlling your vibration, by controlling your frequency, and by expanding your field rather than contracting your field. And so I highly recommend you make this the most important practice in your life. I believe this is better than any nutritional practice, supplemental practice, workout practice, or physical training. Even though I believe in all of those things, any other form of meditation, this is an active meditation process that is neuroscience based that will program your nervous system for downregulation and for you more naturally beginning to feel these feelings of safety, of availability, of openness, of receiving, of surrender and letting go, as opposed to the habits that you've developed of stress, anxiety, overwhelm, worry, self-judgment. And so this is a very, very powerful practice. And again, as I mentioned, I think it's even more effective to do for 5 minutes a day, 3 times a day, because that way throughout the day, you're bringing your nervous system back to remembering what's actually true, because throughout the day, your current reality is likely to influence you to move back into those old habits of thoughts, old habits of emotion, and old beliefs and actions. So I hope you love this video as much as I love sharing it with you. I think this is absolutely essential. If there's one thing I would commit to, it would be this. And let me know what you think. You know, is this a practice that you think would be beneficial for you? What are some of the emotional habits or states that you've been living in? What's the identity that you've developed? Comment on the video if you're following on YouTube, because I want to know what you think. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and hit that bell icon. If you're listening on the audio platforms, do me a favor, subscribe and leave me a rating or review. I absolutely love waking up and seeing that Apple or Spotify send me a new notification that there's a new rating or review so I can hear how you feel about this podcast and whether or not we're creating change together. And also, the biggest thing that I would ask you to do is if you love this episode, share it with somebody else. Tell them about the podcast. Send them the link, because this isn't a do-it-yourself project. It's to do it with others. And the more we pay it forward, the more we receive. And obviously, I spend a lot of time and energy curating and producing this content for you. It's free because I want to be on this journey with you. All I ask is that you pay it forward and subscribe and let other people know about the show. So I love you very, very much. Please let me know if this is helpful, if you'd like me to produce some other videos or have any suggestions on related topics, and I will see you in the next episode. Hey, it's David. Hop on over to davidbear.com. Click right here. There's also a link in the show notes, and sign up for our newsletter. You'll get immediate access to my free Mind Hack ebook, as well as a couple of trainings to help you master the inner game. This is a great way to stay informed and be a part of our community and be notified of special announcements. Click below, head on over to the website, get subscribed. If you loved this video, make sure you check out this one or this one, and I will see you in the next video.